Hello, everybody. Here we are tracking Hilary. It is Sunday morning. I'm meteorologist Netta Iranpour. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we want to get you caught up on the very latest with Hilary. So just to point out, it's just after 7:30 in the morning right now. We're looking at radar where some of you likely woke up to the sounds of rain. It's starting to pick up a little bit, especially along the South Bay, places like Chula Vista, even into Santee. You're noticing it get a little bit darker green here, and then across our west slope of the mountains. So this is Sunday morning, but I'm going to walk you through the day, what we can expect here with this hurricane. It is a Category 1 at this hour, but it is expected to downgrade into a tropical storm. A wider view, as you'll notice, it's moving from the from the south to the north, the southerly direction. And as it does that, of course, it'll start to pick up in intensity here in San Diego. Now, our friends in Mexico right now are seeing some heavy rainfall, as they have been for the past 24 hours. You'll notice it's moving further into the northern portion of Baja, all the areas of the yellows, the oranges, the reds, heavy rainfall, the possibility of thunderstorm activity also likely with this. The wider picture, you'll notice this counterclockwise kind of motion here, and that is all going to start to move its way north. But as it does that and makes land, it will start to crumble apart. So right now we're looking at, it just switched to a tropical storm. So here we are close to about 7:45 this morning now, a tropical storm. It just downgraded from a Category 1. It was a Cat 1 just moments ago. The location, 220 miles south-southeast of San Diego, sustained winds 70. It is moving north-northwest. So let's take you through. As it gets to Ensenada, it remains a tropical storm. As this makes its way to the land, it will start to even weaken more. But it's the northern end of this system that's going to see plenty of rainfall. So really the northern quadrant, if you will get more of the activity. Behind the system, we will see heavy winds, and the wind direction will switch on us. So we're going to walk you through that. By about 3-4 o'clock this afternoon, that's when we expect it here in San Diego, and that's when the center will arrive. But prior to that, like I was saying, throughout the day today, we'll get heavy rain. We'll take you through that forecast model and show you the rainfall accumulation and the wind that we're going to see with all of this. But look where it's going, right into Nevada, places that have not felt the impacts of a hurricane. It will crumble and weaken into a post-tropical low, but still heavy rain for California and Nevada, more than many places have seen, especially in the mountains and the deserts compared to this past winter. We know this winter was really wet and soggy, but yes, this is likely going to bring us more in a shorter amount of time. So now we'll walk you through the rainfall forecast model. This model right here shows about 9-10 o'clock in the morning. It'll start to pick up through midday, 11, 12 o'clock. Look at all the areas of yellow, the orange, this line of red that you'll start to notice pop up here in the mountains and deserts. That would all be thunderstorm activity, the possibility of that, which, as we know, that could bring down hail. We could get lightning, thunder, and moments of really active rain. I mean, the sheets of rain that tend to come down when we get thunderstorms really could cause some problems out there. And that's where obviously you don't want to be on the roads, especially by, I would say, about 11 o'clock through the afternoon. 3-4 o'clock, best to avoid being outside if you can. Hopefully you're planning to stay indoors on this Sunday because you've been hearing these warnings. Hopefully you have everything tied down outside as well, and those sandbags in place. By about 4 or 5 o'clock, look what happens in San Diego. It starts to clear a little bit. Moving further north, Temecula, Palm Springs, they are ready for a lot of rain, several inches expected there. Here in San Diego tonight, 7-8 o'clock, we could get another band coming through, but then by later this evening, we'll start to see it really simmer down. It's going to be well to the north of us by tonight. So tomorrow morning, San Diego Unified School District will be back in session. So far, they're saying school is planned. They'll give us an update later this evening for a possibility of cancellations if the rain and wind has impacted some of their facilities and their operations. But it looks like the start of school may not be active rainfall. We may just see some cloud coverage, which will be a nice break right after all of this that we're getting here on this Sunday. The rainfall accumulation, 1.5 to 3 inches for west of the mountains. Now on the mountains and into the desert, 5 to 7 inches of rain. So yeah, that's pretty intense. The eastern slope of the mountains, that's where we might see things like flash flooding, certainly a possibility. We could see that throughout our region. We have a lot of watches and warnings in place because of that. As we look out towards the west, look how dark it's starting to get. The bands of rain coming in already. I also want to show you this view because pay attention to these lines lines right here. We'll take you through again throughout your day Sunday. As it starts to pick up in speed and heavier rainfall, you'll also notice the wind coming in from the east, that northeast direction. That's when the storm system is starting to get closer and closer to us. And it's going to continue from the east, switch and become southeasterly. And that's as the center starts to move into San Diego. And that's again when it starts to crumble, but likely getting strong winds with it. As it moves further north, we will get this southerly flow. So by late tonight, the wind direction switches on us from northeast to east to southerly. So that's what we're expected to see. I know a lot of people were trying to plan where to put their outdoor things, and on the west side of your home likely will be the safest thing to do because we're getting more of this east flow. But when it switches southerly, that could also impact you as well. Let's take a look now at the wind speeds that we're talking. You'll notice in the purple right here already this morning, 50-mile-per-hour winds in places like Julian. In our mountains, we typically see that on stormy days, right? The mountains are used to wind like this. Certainly can be dangerous. You don't want semi trucks driving through these locations or really anywhere if they can avoid it. But what we're also watching for very closely would be inland areas with the stronger wind gusts. 25 to 30 miles per hour expected by about 9-10 o'clock this morning. It'll pick up in places like Fallbrook, Palomar by about 1 o'clock. The coastline, for now, this forecast model is showing 25-mile-per-hour winds, but there's a possibility of 35, maybe even into 40-mile-per-hour winds west of the mountains. So especially when that center comes through, that's when we could see it get intense. And then later this evening, it won't be over yet because unfortunately that's when this wind switches, and we'll still see about 25 to 30-mile-per-hour gusts coming in places that we don't typically see that kind of activity. But look at this. By tomorrow, we can all take a breather, go outside and see what happened with this system because by tomorrow, the winds die down. Like I said, the rain should settle down. We'll just see clouds and, of course, the remnants of what Hilary will have brought us. Taking a look at our warnings, we do have quite a few to let you know about. This red that you see right here, hurricane warning. So that's right there through Baja, central Baja, it looks like into northern portion of Baja. But as you see right here, tropical storm warning. First time ever for Southern California. That also extends into Playas de Tijuana and then further up north. Look at this, LA, San Diego under that tropical storm warning. But we have watches and warning throughout Nevada, Arizona. So yes, it's pretty widespread what Hilary will be doing for a lot of people, millions of people in its path. So the tropical storm warning lasts now until Wednesday. Flood watch, we also are under that. That's now until Monday night. And then high wind warning as well. And that's really going to pick up by about mid-morning. So that's why it's been issued from Sunday 11 a.m. to Sunday night 11 p.m. That's the peak of our strongest winds. That could cause the most damage. Now, we also have a high surf advisory, 4 to 7 footers with a potential of 8. I know there were a few people that I spoke with who wanted to go check out the waves. Please just try not to until it's over, until the rain and the wind have settled down. By tomorrow, go look at the beaches. I know it could be pretty dangerous, of course. 7 to 8 footers. There's a tropical storm now on its way. Water temperature 61 to 69 degrees. That's really important because when this thing started as a Cat 4 hurricane, water temperature in the 90s off the coast of Mexico. And as it moved north, it got a lot cooler, down into the 60s, near 70 degrees. That's what we experience in San Diego, which is why we don't typically see the hurricane activity. That's why it became a tropical storm already, because it is cooler. The next 12 hours, not a surprise here, 100% chance of rain throughout the day, and then temperatures will be in the mid-upper 70s as this storm passes through. Rain chances, take a look. Yes, of course, today is the peak day, the most activity. Tomorrow, a little bit. We might still see lingering showers in the morning, and then we can all kind of calm down for the rest of the week. Things will, of course, be a lot better for us as this passes on through, and then you'll see our temperatures start to increase a bit. We are going to feel a little cool today, tomorrow, and even into Tuesday, and then we'll start to see a little ramp up ahead of the weekend. So that's a look at your 8-day microclimate forecast. Once Hilary is gone, things will start to settle a little bit. Back to school on Monday will likely be a calmer day. I know people are planning to have rain boots and rain jackets for the kids. rapids. It looks like the morning there's a slight chance for shower activity. It's not going to be as impressive, obviously, as what we initially thought would happen Monday morning, because now it has arrived and it's obviously going to be more of a Sunday event. So that at least is hopefully some good news for folks that will have to head to school. Community colleges are back in session Monday as well. You'll want to stay tuned to the districts and the colleges to make sure class will still continue. Looking at our mountains and deserts, as you'll notice, of course, very wet today and tomorrow with the possibility of those flash floods. And then we will see things start to taper down. And of course, by the end of the week, back to sunshine. And what a ramp up in those temperatures, especially in the deserts, triple digits in your forecast by the end of the week. So that's a look at what's going on with Hilary. Of course, we will continue tracking this on the air, on our website, all of our social media channels. Make sure you tune in. In fact, we have a special report coming up for you here at 8:30 this morning through about 11 o'clock, or as long as we need to stay on the air to bring you the impacts of this now tropical storm. We have crews going from Mission Beach to the South Bay. Our mountains and deserts will have it covered for you to let you know what's going on in your neighborhoods. We do want everyone to be safe. So stay with us. CBS8.com is the place to go /weather for extended forecasts, but also make sure you're watching our live streams. If you're not able to watch us on TV, you can see it on the CBS 8 app as well. We're also on Roku. Thank you so much for being with us here. This is a look at your extended forecast. I'm meteorologist Neda Iranpour.